Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this is the first impressions of the Motorola Google Nexus 6, whatever you want to say it is. In any event, this is a beautiful device and I have been extremely happy with it thus far. So the first thing I'm going to do with this, normally I do a first impressions. I just talk about what I like about it and how it's impressed me, but I got to point this out immediately. One thing I would suggest that you do is go into your settings and go to apps, find Cloud Print and disable it. Because Cloud Print is going to annoy you. For some reason, it just, if you're using the phone, it'll pop up and crash. And I don't know if a lot of other users have had this issue, but it's done that to me, and I'm talking about it's annoying. So I suggest that you disable cloud printing if that's happening to you. Shout out to Roland too. He's on Google Plus. Follow him if you're not. He's a techie as well. I don't know if he does videos, but he's definitely a techie. He's keeping up with everything. So he hit me up on Google Plus, and I think we turned ours off at the same time, and we didn't even know it. But yeah, that cloud print, immediately I had to shut that off. That was definitely a no-go. But other than that, people, another thing that's kind of annoying is this back cover. It definitely looks like it's an old device already, and it's just, this almost can pass for a fake leather. I don't know. It's just it's weird how its fingerprints just won't go away. You have to really smudge it down and wipe it off a little damp rag or something to get it to actually clear the fingerprints. But you know, that's kind of it's not really a something to make you upset, but it is a little annoying at times if it's there. Something else, shout out to Marcus Brownlee in his video. He pointed out that he lays his phone on the table and texts, and I do too. And he was right, of course. You probably won't be able to do that. You need to get something to prop it on, and then you'll be able to do it, and it won't be so bad. This is one of my leather wallets, and it's got a little curve to it, so it's not that bad. But I will say that, you know, hey, you won't be able to do this because it's gonna rock. But in the same token, this isn't a deal breaker for me. That doesn't bother me that much at all. I could live with that because I just won't sit it on the table, or I'll put it on something if I want to text. Fluidness of the device, it's just ridiculous, man. It's there is absolutely nothing that I don't like about Lollipop. Super nice. One other thing I wanted to point out was, in the unboxing, I said something about bloatware from T-Mobile. Well, there is no bloatware from T-Mobile. The My T-Mobile application app that installed when I first put my SIM in there, it installed, but you can actually take that off. So that's not something that should deter you. Nothing like the AT&T version with branding and, you know, it's locked to AT&T. All those things, you know, don't worry about that. It's not there. The device is extremely fluid. There was nothing on here. I put all of this software that's the social, the games, the other apps. I put all that stuff on there myself. So there is nothing on this device but just Google stuff. And they have it. One thing I didn't change was they have a create folder now, which I think that's nice because you got all your docs, your sheets, it's like everything's in there. And you got your play with your games, movies, music, newsstand, books, and they have the Google folder over here. I'm leaving that as is because I use those and I thank them for grouping them together for me. And I added the social and I added the games, and pretty much, you know, I'm sticking with it the way it is. It's really, really nice. I think the device is definitely shining when it comes to build quality. And, you know, it basically, you know, is an oversized Moto X 2014, but it's definitely a much more killer device compared to the Moto X 2014. I was contemplating getting a pure version from the Google Play Store, or not the Google Play Store, from Motorola, and I still might, but not yet, because this device suits every need. The killer features of the phone that I like is the dual speakers, and I'm talking about, these are dual stereo speakers. They're not boom sound. I know that's the question that people have been asking me, and you might put it in the comments too, but if you're watching this video, I'm telling you now, you don't have to ask. These aren't boom sound. It can never be boom sound. But these are super clear. They're right under the HTC One M8 speakers. They're right under boom sound. I mean, it's not that it's bad. They're just not as bassy, and but other than that, it's pretty much loud. The chambers on the M8 is definitely a lot bigger, so it's better. But other than that, I mean, the speakers on here are going to satisfy you. Don't think that they're not. Another thing that I've been enjoying is when I pick up my phone, as you can see here, it'll unlock my device. That's something that you can set up in the features of the phone. You can put the watch as a trusted device, and every time you pick up your phone, I have a passcode on here, but when I pick up my phone, the watch recognizes it and it unlocks it for me. I think that is one fantastic feature. That is just amazing, because I'm happy with that. I don't have to put my password in every time I pick up my phone when I'm wearing my watch. And I wear the watch, I guess, all day when I'm doing my day-to-day tasks. I've gotten used to it, and it's there, especially now that I have the phone to match. It's just a perfect combination. And I know that's crazy coming from me, because wearables is just not my thing. Stay tuned for a review of this and and also comparing it a little bit to the Gear S, which I still have, but this is definitely a hotter item. But you know, coming from me, I know the wearable thing is shocking, but you know, I guess it was just a matter of how I would pay for it, or having the right device to actually get some real use out of it. And I'm actually pretty happy with it, especially now that I have this device. But the Nexus 6 isn't too big, and I may have big hands, but I know women that carry Galaxy Notes or Huawei ZenMate 4Gs, you know. So size, this is where we're going, people. If you can't get on board, or you just don't like it, don't get on board, but don't bash a large phone just because you believe it's a bad idea. Or, well, you know, I retract that. You can do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, this is the way technology is going. And even as stubborn as I was about the wearables, like I just said, eventually I found a way to like it. And, you know, I actually have great use for it, because I don't have to take my phone out all the time. And I can reply right from my Moto 360, which I didn't think it would be useful when I didn't have it. But now that I have it, I'm excited about it, and I've really been enjoying it. But 6-inch phones, this is where we're going. Dual speakers. Next thing you know, we'll see quad speakers on here. We'll see Dolby 5.1 surround sound. I think there's a couple phones that might already have that software or whatever, but we'll see 4 speakers, 2 in here and 2 in here. We'll see crazy stuff here coming up. The phone that I gave away, the Sharp Aquos Crystal, that is a great design. They could have just took the entire bottom and turned it into a speaker. Wow, that would have been fantastic. But 6-inch phones, and I don't call this a phablet, but I just think this is a large phone. The Galaxy Note line, those are phablets. Everybody who's claims to have a large phone as a phablet, I don't think so. I just think this is a big phone. The Galaxy Note line, they're the phablet creators. They actually do things for productivity with their devices, and it's just a different realm for me. This is a big smartphone. That's about it. So I've really been enjoying. I haven't done any camera samples. It's raining out, so I haven't done any. But I guess I could. I think it would probably still come out pretty clear though. But the Moto 360 and the Nexus 6 linked together, it's just fantastic, people. I got to tell you, I've really been enjoying it. The Nexus 6 is everything I thought it was going to be, and better and more. I turn on my phone, clean up my office area or my bedroom. The speakers on it are so loud, I can control everything from my watch. Fantastic, man. Just fantastic. So the first impressions of this device, you know, other than the cloud print thing, I've been pretty happy with it. I've been using it like I would any other device, and I'm extremely excited about it. And that's where I'll stop from now, and I'll go ahead and start. I'm working on some other reviews of some stuff I have coming in, and you'll see those posted as well. Stay tuned. Be sure to rate and subscribe and share the video. Also, leave a comment, because I like to talk to people on Google Plus or Twitter, and definitely in the comments of the YouTube videos. I like you guys to sound off. So if you have the device, let me know what you think about it on your first impressions. What's bothering you? What do you love about it? If you hate anything about it, sound off. I'll see you guys on Google Plus, Mr. J.O. Williams on Twitter as well, Instagram, Mr. J.O. Williams, same thing, MRJLWILLIAMS, everywhere. If you want to find me somewhere on social media, it's going to be Mr. J.O. Williams, period. I've snatched them all. So I will see you guys in the next video. This is my first impressions of the Nexus 6. Man, tongue twister for me. And I will be back shortly with more reviews on this. See you guys in the next one. Take care.